There are multiple data entry methods for adding lots to an auction within the AuctionMethod software system. This video tutorial will cover how to add one lot at a time, which is the simplest method. Once you're logged in as an administrator and looking at the list of auctions, simply select the auction that you're working on. And then from the sub-menu, hover over the lots option and select Add One Lot. If this is your first time doing this, you'll want to turn on the help text so that you see additional information about each one of the form fields below. The first two form fields are pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot number and a title. You can change the lot number beyond whatever is auto-populated there. So for example, I'm going to use the lot number 1000, and I'm going to go ahead and give my lot a title. The three options below will allow you to move through the data entry process. You can either just save the lot. That will allow you to go ahead and add media, such as images and documents, to the lot. You can also press the cancel button if you don't want to create the lot at all. And if you press save and add new, then it will save this lot with just the lot number and the title, and it will move you on to the same screen where you can enter another lot in the same way. In this case, I'm not going to choose any of these options because I actually want to look at all of the form fields that are possible for this particular lot. So I'll scroll on down and we'll examine each one of these form fields. The sequence number is not a field that is ordinarily used. However, what it does is it allows you to change the order of the auction independent of the lot number. So for example, by default, lot number 1000 will then be followed by lot number 1001, then 1002. But if I wanted to change the order somehow, I can create various sequences by assigning a sequence number to a lot. So for example, I could put this in sequence number 5, and then later have a sequence number 1 that's assigned to a lot. And sequence 1 will come before any of the lots that are in sequence 1 will come before sequence 5. But like I said, most auction companies simply use the default order of the lot by lot number. If you feature a lot by using this checkbox, then that means that it'll simply show up as a featured item on the home page. If you have the home page slider with the images, then featured lots will show up there. If you have a credit card payment options available for your site, then by pressing this button here, it says no credit card payment, will make it so that users will have to pay by cash or cashier's check or wire transfer or some option other than online credit card payments. Again, this is not an option that's commonly selected. Another option that's not too common but is helpful to know about is this tax premium only field, where if you do select this option, then when the buyer sees their invoice for this, the buyer's premium, the sales tax rather, will be applied to the buyer's premium only. It will not be added to the original purchase. The premium amount is inherited from the auction level. It can be changed here, though. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as it is, though. You can also assign different tax codes. Again, this tax code has been inherited from the auction event itself, from the settings there. And if I wanted to add or change the tax code for an individual item that I'm adding, I can do that here. Also, I can categorize the lot. Categorization is not required, but if you are using categorization, you can either select from one of the existing categories, or you can add a new category quite easily while you're doing your data entry. If you plan on entering multiple lots in a row, all in the same category, you can select this option right here, which will make that category selection persist so that you don't have to keep selecting it. If there are any additional fees that are going to be charged to either the buyers or the consigners for this lot, you can add those here. So you would just select from the drop down, and here's an example of a kind of fee that you can add. Now I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and close this out. I can add a comma separated list of YouTube videos here embed those videos with the lot. So I can add one or more videos to the lot. I can either enter the URL of the video or simply the video ID. And if I have more than one video, I just separate those entries with a comma. There is a rich text field here for adding a description of the lot. The rich text field simply means that you can add links, you can change and modify the way that the text gets displayed, you can embed graphics, that sort of thing. Most commonly, people just enter whatever the description is. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to, I could change this to bold font. Now, if you keep scrolling, you can see that again, the save and add new and cancel option are available, but there's more that can be done. So for example, I can enter a quantity here. So for example, if I wanted to have 10, 10 of these items within a lot, what's going to happen if I enter a quantity greater than one is that bidders will be bidding so much times their money. So, for example, if they enter a bid of $10 and I have a quantity of 10, that means that their total sum bid amount is $100. By default, this is set to 1. Typically, the end time is going to be so the start time and the end time are inherited from the auction. Normally, the end time is something that is figured out by the ordering of the option. But if you wanted to control the end time individually, you could do that here. It's not recommended. The increment scheme is also inherited from the auction. However, you can control it here at the lot level as well. And typically, it's recommended that you leave increment schemes alone. They should be the same throughout the auction, but there is an option to change it at the lot level here. The default starting bid has already been entered here. However, you can modify it if you want to set the opening bid to some other amount. So, for example, in this case, I'm going to change it to $500. I can also add a reserve price. So let's say I don't want to sell this thing for less than $1,000. I can enter that here. When I enter a reserve price, you'll see that I have different options. There's none, standard, and pending. If you hover over the little I here, it'll give you more information about what those mean. Standard just means that, which is, so the normal one here is standard, just means that users will see that any bid amount below $1,000 just would say that there's a reserve bid and a reserve price, and that reserve price has not yet been met. There is this option here, which is quite unusual. It's called first to reserve, and that means that the first user to enter a bid amount equal to the reserve bid, it becomes the winner automatically. That's not commonly used. Again, the location information has been inherited from the auction. Typically, it's not modified at the lot level, but it is here in case you need to change the location information for the lot. The location ID is simply something that you use for internal tracking about where the lot might be located on site. So, for example, you might put in there that it's located in the backyard or it's up in the front office, something to that effect. And the last option is not one that we suggest that you change, but live and not live will make it so that if you change it so that it's not live, then that lot will not be available to bidders to participate on. We don't recommend changing this unless you have a really good reason. So you'll see that the very last option down below here says save and add pics. Now that does the exact same thing as hitting the save button. What it does is goes ahead and it saves this, and it opens up the picture/document uploader. I'm going to go ahead and add some files here. So I'm going to go grab some sample images. You can either drag and drop the images, or you can use your file uploader. As you can see, I've now selected some lot images to add, and then I just simply press the Start Upload button. This is for uploading pictures to the lot. So let's see what that looks like first. So once the pictures have been added, you'll see them actually appear in thumbnail format down below here. Um, One thing that's should be noted is you can drag and drop these images however you want. It's the very first lot, or sorry, the very first image that shows up will be what's called the featured lot image. So it's the image that gets associated with the lots, like in the featured carousel, or just the lead image whenever it's displayed. If there's an image being displayed for a lot, a single image, then the first image is the one that's used for that. The other thing is, besides dragging and dropping these things, what I can do is I can also edit individual images. So from the image editing option, I can do things like I can crop, I can flip the image, I can rotate it, I can draw on the image, I can add shapes, icons, and text. So for example, if I wanted to, I could add a little text here that said something like that. And that will be reflected um, on the image itself. So that's a little bit about adding images to a single lot. If you scroll down though, you'll see there's an option to add documents as well. I'm going to go ahead and choose a document file. I'm going to upload a PDF, a sample PDF. In fact, I'm going to upload two of them. So once I've selected my files, I press the Start Upload button. Now those files are going to be associated with my lot. So they've been uploaded just like the images were uploaded. And now you can see that each one of those files is available. It's called lot documents here, and I can rename them if I want. So for example, so one thing that you'll notice besides being able to change the names of the file, can also change the accessibility, and this is really important. So, in case you have any documents that you don't want to share publicly, by default, the documents that you upload will be shared publicly with anyone who accesses the website. However, you can limit it so that only those users who are logged in can see the documents. And you can also change it so that only users who have been on the pre-approved list of whitelisted users can see the document. You can also view the document, download it, or you can remove it. I'm going to go ahead and now what I'm going to do is move on to the next lot. So I can preview the lot if I want to. So for example, press that button and that will take me to a new screen that's not viewable right now. But it'll take me to a new screen that shows me the way that lot will look. Now I'm all done with this lot though, so I can actually just click cancel or save and add new if I want to add a new lot. And that's about all there is to it. That's how you add a single lot into the AuctionMethod software system. Thanks for watching.